Welcome to e-learning for Adobe Dreamweaver CS6. In the last lesson, we have learned how to create a page layout using Adobe Dreamweaver CS6 and its components. In this set of lessons and tutorials, we're gonna work with cascading style sheets. Today, page design in compliance with web standards separate the content from the formatting stored in a cascading style sheet. The formatting can be quickly changed and substituted for specific application and device. So, the first lesson we're going to do is to work with types and fonts. One of the first basic choices any designer must make for a website is selecting the default typeface or typefaces. The typeface can evoke all sorts of feelings in your visitors, ranging from security to elegance to sheer fun and humor. Some designers may use multiple typefaces for different purposes throughout the site. Others select a single base typeface that may match their normal corporate themes or culture. CSS gives you tremendous control over page appearance. In this tutorial, you will learn how to apply a global site typeface by editing a single rule. In the CSS style panel, let's double click the body rule. So, when the CSS rule definition for body dialog box opens, observe the entry displayed in the font family field. So, the font family here is the Verdana, Arial Helvetica, Sans Serif. The field displays 3 typefaces and a design category. Why? Can't Dreamweaver make up its mind? The answer is a simple but ingenious solution to a problem that has nagged the web from the very beginning. The fonts you see in your browser are not actually part of the web page or the server. They are supplied by the computer that's browsing the site. Although most computers have many fonts in common, they don't all have the same fonts. What this means is that if you choose a specific font and it isn't installed on the visitor's computer, your carefully designed and formatted web page could immediately and tragically appear in Courier or some other equally undesirable typeface. The solution is to specify fonts in groups. The browser is given a second, third, and perhaps fourth choice to default to before it fixes for itself. Some call this technique degrading gracefully. Dreamweaver CS6 offers more than a dozen predefined font groups. If you don't see a combination you like, you can select the Edit Font List option at the bottom of the Font Family field menu and create your own. So, and you can select your preferred font to your site. So, just click Add, and we don't do anything here because it might disrupt our working font. Before you start building your own group, remember this. Once you pick your favorite font, try to figure out what fonts are installed on your visitors' computers and add them to the list. For example, you may prefer the font Hochfilter Algemy Bold Condensed, but it's unlikely that a majority of web users have it installed on their computers. By all means, select Hochfilter as your first choice. Just don't forget to slip in some of the more tried and true fonts such as Arial, Helvetica, Tahoma, Times New Roman, Trebuchet MS, Verdana, and finally Serif and Sans Serif. From the font family menu, choose Trebuchet, MS Arial, Helvetica, and Sans Serif. And just click OK. We have successfully changed the basic font of the entire web page by editing one rule. All the text on the page now displays in Trebuchet MS. If Trebuchet MS is not available on a visitor's computer, the page will default to Arial, then to Helvetica, and then to a sans serif font. In addition to changing the font, you can also alter text size with CSS. In the body rule, the font size is set to 100%. This sets the default size of all HTML elements on the page. Headings, paragraphs, and list elements are all sized relative to this setting. All elements on the page will inherit this setting unless it's overridden by a more specific rule. Now, let's insert the cursor in the caption under the vertical menu. So this is the vertical menu. And this is the caption. Observe the tag selector at the bottom of the document window. Identify the element that contains this caption. The caption is a p element contained in the aside element, which is contained in the div sidebar element. To reduce the text size, you could create a new compound rule to format any of these elements. But before we choose which element you want to format, let's examine any potential conflicts that may arise from the decision. Creating a rule for the p element will target paragraphs within the sidebar but ignore any other elements you wish to insert there. You could format div sidebar itself. The specifications will certainly affect both headings and paragraphs, but they also would apply to every element in the sidebar, including the vertical menu. In this instance, the best option would be to create a new rule that formats the aside element. Such a rule would narrowly target the styling to content contained therein and ignore the vertical menu together. Let us select aside from the tag selector at the bottom of the document window and choose the new CSS rule icon. In the new CSS rule dialog box, select compound from the selector type menu. Click the and let us click the less specific button once to remove the container class, and then just click OK. In the CSS rule definition for sidebar aside dialog box, type 90 in the font size field. Let's put 90 and choose 90% and then apply, then okay. So let's see, let's save the file and then